Hello, friends and loved ones. Welcome. This is Dr. Willie coming to you from People Touching People Out Forum. And with me is my co-host, Ms. Donna Thomas. Ms. Thomas, it's always a joy to have you.
Thank you.
And so, Ms. Thomas, this evening we're going to be discussing a very provoking topic, very interesting topic. As you know, I have been practicing real estate for the past 30 years.
Yes.
And I've sold it all. I've done commercial investment, I've done residential, I've done rural, you name it. And so, Ms. Thomas and I decided it's time for us to discuss real estate, have a real estate forum about the importance of owning a home versus renting a home.
Right.
And so, Ms. Thomas, we're going to get into it tonight. It's going to be very provoking, very interesting.
Yes.
But let me just lay a foundation before we get into the matter. Let me just talk about the various types of homes. And of course, just to educate our folks out there who are not sure of the types of homes that we are dealing with. You have what is called the freehold townhouse. You have the freehold bungalow. You have the freehold detached. Then you have the semi-detached. Then you have the freehold townhouses. You have the condominium apartments. And also the links. Links could be the basements or link on the ground or the garage or link. But there are various types of homes, Ms. Thomas. And so we want to talk about now, as we get into this matter, the benefits, Ms. Thomas, of owning a home. There are many benefits.
There are many benefits to owning a home. And the first one is you can have more control over your monthly housing payment.
Yes.
You will build home equity with each monthly payment.
Oh, yes.
You can convert your home equity to cash. Example, cash out refinancing,
That's right.
home equity loan, home equity line of credit. Then there's also another advantage or benefit. Your home value can appreciate over time.
That is true.
You can use home equity to build wealth, of course. You might qualify for tax deductions. For example, mortgage interest deductions.
Yes, yes.
So there are many benefits to owning your own home.
And as we continue, you'll be able to build your credit by owning a home.
Yes.
You can build your credit, which is very important. You have more freedom over your living space.
That's right.
You know, you decide when you have a home. Your family may benefit from the community you live in. You know, you may enjoy, home ownership, health benefits because you are the one that is in charge of your home, and you can take care of the home. You can maintain the home, and so there are benefits there that goes along with that. You can build a stronger financial future. And we agree on that one, isn't it?
That's
All right. You will have more control over day-to-day housing-related costs.
Yes.
For example, your utilities, your hydro, your water, your maintenance, lawn, so etc. So you have control over that versus when you're renting. All right. You will have more freedom in your home. You can decorate it. Am I right?
That's right.
Yeah. You can choose the type of upgrades that you want in your home or any amenities that appeals to your lifestyle. You agree with me?
That's right.
And another one, Mr. Thomas says, you will have more stability by owning your own home. And isn't that something?
Yes.
So you're saying to me that there are many benefits of owning a home.
Many benefits.
All right. What about disadvantages? Are there any disadvantages of owning a home?
There's always disadvantage to everything. There's always good and bad in everything. So here are some of the disadvantages of owning your own home.
Please tell us.
So for the initial cost, it can be, some people find it very hard to find the down payment.
Okay.
That can be a bit challenging.
Okay.
Finding the closing costs in closing the transaction.
Yes.
Because remember, when you're dealing with real estate, a lawyer has to be involved.
That is true.
So that's when the closing cost comes into.
Yes.
And then there's the property taxes, of course.
Oh, yes.
There's mortgage insurance.
Yes.
There's home inspection costs.
That's right.
There's the title search. And then there's the title insurance. So all these are added costs.
Initial costs.
Initial
That
costs.
you have to realize that you have to, these are costs that will be upfront.
That's
before
right.
you move into
The home.
into the home.
Yes.
All right, that's very good. What about disadvantages?
All right. So maintenance costs, we touched on that a little. Property value can fall,
That's right.
right?
Mhm.
And then a rent payment might be lower, right?
Yes.
Repairs are your responsibility.
That
It
is
is
true.
your responsibility to repair anything that needs to be fixed.
That is true.
It's coming out of your
That
pocket.
is true. That
There's
is
the
true.
flexibility, and of course, there's the low upfront cost.
All right.
And then as we go further, some of the disadvantages, you aren't building value.
That's right.
It may increase the rent, no credit score improvement, no cosmetic improvements,
All right.
no return on your financial investment
That's
in
right.
paying rent.
That's
So
right.
you have nothing to get back when you're paying
And
rent.
they pay the rent.
That's right.
So you're saying then, Mr. Thomas, those are some of the advantages.
Yes.
But again, no repairs. The landlord, it's his responsibility to take care of all of
That's
those
right,
costs.
that's right.
And of course, what about the disadvantages? You're not building value. I think you alluded to that, right?
Yes.
Your rent may go up and you have no
Yes.
control over that.
That's right.
You agree with me?
Yes.
No credit score improvement because you're just paying rent.
Just paying rent.
No cosmetic improvements.
Right.
No return on your and this is a big thing. No return on your financial
Investment.
paying rent. Example, Ms. Thomas, you could be renting a place, a home, for 10 years.
Yes.
And you're paying $3,000 per month. At the end of the 10 years, you get nothing.
Nothing. Yes, you have nothing to
And so
get.
if you were to put that into a home of
Yes.
your own, at the end of the year, and a couple of years, 10 years,
Yes.
at least you know there's values there for you. So that is so
Absolutely, that's
so important.
yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
And a lot of people have this question. You'd be surprised how many people have
Yes.
this question. How can I get the mortgage to buy a home?
Okay.
Because a lot of people are struggling. Probably they didn't have any savings, they weren't working towards it.
All right.
So there are different ways that you can get a mortgage.
That's right. Well, again, this is my field of expertise also. And there are different types of
Yeah.
interest rates. Let's talk about that before I get further into the mortgage. And if you are buying a home, you'll meet the bank, the broker, mortgage broker, and they will discuss with you the various rates
Yes.
that are available. You have the chartered banks, if your credits are good, etc., etc. Everything's in order. The present going rate right now is 4.29 for 5 years fixed.
Yes.
4.29. But they also have variable. Variable means market goes up, the rate goes up and down. It's 4.95. And then of course you can take a 1-year mortgage, 2-year mortgage, 3-year mortgage, etc., etc.
That's right.
And even within that avenue there, you can decide if you want to pay a monthly payment, bi-monthly,
Yes.
or weekly, bi-weekly. So those are some of the flexibilities that are there.
But I have a question,
Yes.
and Dr. Lee. So, let's say I'm new to the market, right?
Okay.
And I'm hearing about fixed rate and I'm hearing about variable rate.
Yes.
Can you give us a little breakdown and what's the benefit of a fixed versus a variable rate?
Benefit of a fixed rate. Let's say, for example, you get a 5-year fixed rate. So you know that every month, if you're paying monthly, every month, that 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 is coming out. There's no change.
That's
For
right.
that 5 years, there's no increase or decrease.
It's a fixed
It's
rate.
fixed.
Yes.
It is fixed. Versus the variable. Variable now, you might get a little lower rate, but then you have to watch the market.
Because if the market goes up, your mortgage is going up.
So if you're not watching it, you could end up paying much higher
Yeah.
than a fixed rate. So
Right.
as long as you can watch the market, if it's going up, you can go into the bank and you can ask the bank to change the dynamics of the mortgage and enter into a fixed rate. You know,
So you have the option to change
yes, you do.
it.
You have
Okay.
an option.
That's
You have an option to do that. Yes.
Okay.
And of course, the rate I just quoted as of today is for the A lenders.
Okay.
Right, A lenders means the chartered banks.
Okay.
Right? But then there are some persons, Mr. Thomas, even with that rate, your score, credit score has to be 650 and above.
Okay.
700-800, right? If you're below 650, then you have to go to a B lender. B lender is not the chartered banks.
Oh,
B
okay.
lender could be private lenders.
Oh,
Of course, the rate goes up
Good.
much higher.
Okay.
And but again, as you ask the question, how can you qualify then for the mortgage, as you
Yes,
ask, right?
yes.
First of all, employment is important. You have to have an employment letter,
Yes.
and it has to be authentic.
Yes.
They have to be proof. They have to check, make sure everything is in order, working for the company. So they will ask for employment letter.
Is there a time limit? Do you have to be in the company for any number of years before you can qualify for that mortgage?
Somewhat, and yes and no, and I'll tell you. For example, if you've been working with the company for 12 years, right? But you have just left the company 6 months ago, and you switch to another company, right? And you want to buy a house.
Yeah.
The banks will consider that.
Oh, okay.
They will go back and check your track record,
Right.
with the previous company.
Sounds
You
good,
know what I mean?
yeah.
So they will look at that. They also ask for pay stubs. You have to supply a couple of pay stubs to the bank. They also ask for proof. This is important. Proof of down payment,
Okay.
closing costs, because they want to make sure that you're not going out there to borrow
Okay.
So let's say, for example, you buy a house for $500,000, yeah, and your down payment, let's say 10%.
Yes.
Let's say $50,000. Your closing cost could be another 10.
Right.
Banks want to see that you have the money in the bank.
Okay.
And this has nothing to do with your line of credit.
This is cash up front that you're gonna pay.
Right. They want to make sure you have it, whether it's in GIC, whether it's RSP, or
okay.
it's saving, because what they normally do, they ask you for your bank transaction for 3 months. You want to go back to see
The history.
the history of the
Yes.
bank. Yeah?
Yes.
We have been in situations at times where the person don't have the money, but let's say daddy or mommy
Has the money.
or somebody wants to
Yeah.
give the money to the person, right? So what we normally do, we get a gift letter.
Oh.
And I would say, I have this amount of money, I'm giving it to my niece or my daughter, and they give a gift letter,
Okay.
right? And then they also have to prove that money is coming from their bank.
Oh.
Very straightforward,
Yes,
very
yes.
straightforward. All right, now, so we talked about the credit score, yes. We talked about the higher your score is better for you, credit. So it's important, Ms. Thomas, to tell our audience
Yes.
that you have to maintain
Their credit
credit
score.
scores.
Yes.
I have off the record, it's a while now, a lawyer wanted to get a house with a lawyer. And his net income in his pocket was over $300,000. His income was great.
Yeah.
His account, no problem. And send the information into the bank, and the bank turned it down. And he has a good job. He has money.
Okay.
We were surprised.
Yeah.
So when we did the credit report, you know what he failed on? Can you guess what he failed? You'll never believe this. He was not paying his cell phone bill.
Oh.
He just ignored it. And his cell phone bill,
Affected his
affected
credit.
big time. He had R9. So it was so bad that the company wrote it off. So now he's way down R9, like bankruptcy, bad debt. So they turned it down. He had to go to a B lender.
Oh, so and the rate is higher.
Of course, it's much higher. It's much higher. So it's important. I've always said, Ms. Thomas, and I've told this to my clients many times, if your cell phone is $20 per month, and you don't have $20, don't wait for the other month. Pay $5.
Pay what you have.
Pay $10, because it's on a cycle.
That's
And
right.
sometimes folks say, well, I don't pay this month, I'll pay next month. But it affects you.
It affects the credit.
You got-
Yeah.
And so folks don't understand that. But it's important for us to talk about that.
Yes.
So let's go further. Let's discuss then the difference then of ownership.
Yes.
Because this is important, and so many folks don't know. And I've had to sit them down at times and educate them, right?
Yes.
When you take title, the different type of titles, ownership that you're going to take. There are 3 types,
Yes.
right? Number 1 is what we call sole ownership. Sole ownership is just you alone buying the house. Everything is in your name.
Right.
So that's it. The title, everything is in your name. No problem. Then we have another format we call if you're buying it to someone else, yeah, whether it's your husband, whether it's your friend, a family member, so two persons or more persons holding a title,
Right.
then the lawyer will discuss with you this what is called tenant in common and joint tenancy. Tenant in common and joint tenancy. What it is? A lot of folks don't know that. All right, and here it is. Tenant in common. What it is a form of property ownership.
Yes.
Yeah, where two or more individuals, yeah, own a property. Watch this now. Each with a distinct and separate share. You get me?
Yes.
Tenants in common do not have a right of survivorship. Meaning, when one owner dies, their share passes on to their heirs through their will,
Okay.
not automatically pass on to the next person.
Oh.
So that is called what is called tenant in common.
Yeah.
So we are in business together, we own a home together. I passed away.
Yeah.
You got my portion doesn't just come to you, it goes to my. If I make a will, if I don't make a will, you know, etc. And of course, then you have heard about probate.
Yes.
About 30 years ago, Ms. Thomas, when I was a bachelor, a friend of mine and I, we bought a condominium investment. And of course, many years, I totally forgot about this, many years, over 30 years. And as you heard, you know, not long ago, somebody sent someone to find me.
Yes.
The lawyer said, I want to talk to me. So I said, for what? He says, oh, your name shows up on a property. And what happened? The lady died.
Oh.
And now, my name is on the title. Her name is on the title. And now, how it is, it's not tenant in common or joint tenancy.
Oh.
Joint tenancy, no. My portion is my portion. Your
Right.
portion is
Your
your portion.
portion,
Right?
okay.
So now, to meet with the lawyer, and then we have to go through probate. It took over a year. They just finished. And, you know, after record, Mr. Thomas, I'm smiling. Not that she died.
Because
Because the property value.
yes, has increased.
We paid $95,000 for it. Right now it's about $700-800. So there's a 50-50. So the lawyers are sorting that out. So that is what you call joint tenancy.
Tenants,
Joint
yes.
tenancy means my portion is my portion,
Yes.
and your portion is
Is
your
your
portion.
portion.
Yeah. So you understand that?
Okay.
You understand? All right. So let's just stop for a moment, Mr. Thomas, because we're going to go to ask the question: is it more important to own a house rather than renting?
Yep.
And you and I we have been there on both sides of the fence.
Yes, absolutely.
It's always looking back, and I've dealt with so many people over the past 30 years. I've always said real estate is the best form of investment. It's a long-term investment. It's discipline.
Yes.
You know, someone said, well, you know, I'm not able to pay my mortgage, my principal and interest, and probably the tax. So usually, Ms. Thomas, I would sit down and work out the numbers, right?
Right.
So we look at the overall cost. Principal and interest, your property tax,
Yes.
your hydro, your water, your gas. So and work with a monthly expense there. All right, so let's say it comes up to $3,000.
Right, for the month,
For the
yeah.
month, right? But then, okay, you're not going to be renting a place for $2,500 or $2,800. You're renting.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, you might have to put up another $500-600 on the mortgage, but it's your own.
That's right.
Right, but we talked about building equity.
That's the benefit. It's yours.
It's yours, you see. So I've got a lot of folks that used to rent. My clients that have been renting, I've gotten them out of the rental
Yes.
into their own home, and they're smiling today
Yes.
because house values will always appreciate.
Always, yes.
And I've always said, Mr. Thomas, there's no good time or bad time to buy a house. You know, in my field, we talked about the buyer's market
Yeah.
and the seller's market.
But isn't that something important to look at, whether it's, because, you know, when the interest rate is high, they're saying it's not the buyer's market, it's more the seller's market.
But you know, a lot of it is just a myth.
You think?
30 years I'm in the business. When I started out, Ms. Thomas, in real estate, the interest rate for first mortgage, interest rate was 9.5-10%. And yet people are still buying homes. Today it's 4.5%. You can negotiate. But the idea here, if you look beyond that, look at it as an investment, right? You have to discipline. You might have to, make some adjustment.
Definitely,
But-
you definitely have to make adjustments.
But then you're building equity. And you have just shared some of the benefits there. Once you equity in the home, you get line of credit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can go and cash out and do part of money, do investment. So it's always advantageous.
That's right.
Always advantageous. From my perspective, anyhow.
Yep.
You agree?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. I've had situations, especially I just remember this lady some time ago. Somebody introduced her to me. She came to me. She was convincing me that there's no way she wants to buy the house. She has the money, but there's no way she's going to able to buy the house. Why? Because her credit is bad. Oh, your credit is bad. I said, how do you know your credit is bad? Because they went to another agent.
And they told
And the
her
agent
it's
said,
bad.
no, we can't help you. Your credit is bad. I said, first of all, madam, I said, let's sit down. Came to my office. I go on the system. I pull up her credit report. And I look at what I'm looking at.
Yes.
I said, but you're able to buy a house. She was shocked.
So how come the other person
Well,
was saying that
I'm
they
not
don't?
going to criticize my colleagues, but all I'm saying, it was a new agent, which was not mature.
That happens all the time.
You know that I got the lady bought her house and she's happy and she recommended me to so many other people. So oftentimes people say, well, they will come to me and say, well, I can't. But let's sit and talk.
Yeah.
Let's sit and talk.
It's good to have that conversation,
That's
right?
it, that's it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I deal with the banks, I deal with mortgage brokers,
Okay.
I deal with lawyers, So I'm involved in everything. It's not
You're
just-
around it,
Yeah,
so
it's not just selling houses.
you go from
Right.
beginning to the
That's
end.
right, that's right.
Right.
I take my clients, you're right, from the beginning, I walk them right through to
Right through the process. Because it's a process, right?
It really is.
Yes.
It really is. But especially in North America, especially in Canada, real estate is the best way. And I've always said, real estate, your residential home,
Yes.
is the only investment that you can buy into that you don't have to pay taxes on.
Oh.
If you sell it.
Okay.
RSP, if you're selling it, you have to pay.
Tax.
Your residential home, if you buy it today
Interesting.
and sell it tomorrow, make $1 million. Everything comes in.
Do you? Oh, okay.
So there's so much advantages here.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
All right. So, any further thoughts?
I just want to say that when you're buying a house, it all has to do with your preference, what
Yes.
you can afford. So all these things you have to think about before you jump into, before you decide that you want to buy a house. There's some questions that you have to ask yourself. What kind of house am I looking for? Am I going to have mobility issues where I should probably stick with a, what do we call the single townhouse, or whereas you don't want to go upstairs, you want to stay on one level, bungalow, you want a bungalow. So there are a lot of questions that you have to ask yourself when you're buying a house. Am I going to be able to afford the monthly payments in addition to the property tax and all the bills? Am I going to be able to will I be able to rent if I can? So that's another option, right?
So what I do, Ms. Thomas, before I take anybody out to look at homes, I always prep my clients.
Yes.
First of all, we sit down and a number of things, you just said it, right? I discuss everything with them.
Yes.
Income, right? The ability to pay for that particular home.
Yes.
The amount it cost. Also, location is important.
That's right. Location is important too, yeah.
And also, during that time, what I do, I do the credit check. Make sure everything is done for them.
Is in order.
So the moment we go out on the street out there,
Start
I know
looking.
exactly what, we know location, we know price, we know features, everything.
That's
so
right.
it makes it much easier for them.
And also, I find that a lot of people, they have a budget.
Yes.
But you go into this house and you say, whoa! There's this wow factor,
Yes.
and you're inclined
Yes.
to buy that one, but you know you can't afford it.
That's
So it's good to have a real estate agent that draws you in, say, you know what, I think we should probably continue looking
That is
because this is out of your range, your price range. So,
Somebody
yeah.
that is knowledgeable about
That's
what
right.
they're talking about. And nothing personal, I've said it before, and in the past, you have a lot of real estate agents that come in the market, and they're new, but I've said it, after 30 years, you work for the client,
That's
and then the salary comes in after. Many times what persons do, they make one deal, right? And they make good money. And that's all they're thinking about.
Just the money.
And they're not thinking about the clients, they're not going beyond the call of duty for the client. So they got one deal and then the clients are not happy. And they could have lost 10 days because once the client is happy, Mr. Thomas, they will recommend you.
They will
That's why I've
recommend
got
you.
so many clients. Right now it's all referrals. Because I've built my clientele.
Yes.
You know, and of course, if I may say off the record, you're also one of my clients.
I am a proud owner, and I'm telling you, Dr. Lee did an awesome job. And I remember, I have to share this. I remember Dr. Lee said to us, we're going to look at homes.
Yes.
If you see a home that you like and I don't think it's feasible,
That's right.
we are not buying it.
That's right.
I looked at my daughter. And we said, okay, because he has the experience, he has the knowledge, and we didn't, so we trusted him. And he walked us through the process, and I'm telling you, from that moment, I'm still bouncing.
Oh, yeah.
I feel so good. When you buy that home and you step in there, it's a different feeling. I'm
Yes.
telling you,
Yes.
you feel so good, you feel so proud to know that this is yours at the end of a long day.
That is true.
When you drive in and you look and you say, this is mine, you feel
Yes.
so proud.
Yes, yes.
It's really a good feeling.
And the agents have to be honest. Honesty is very important. And also, I've said, you have to be a people person. It's more than education. You have to like people and people have to like you.
Yes.
You have to build that rapport. If not, it's not going to happen. And I've sold so many homes, Mr. Thomas, over the years. And yeah, you know, I'm quite happy.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, you know, it's church circle. A lot of the folks that are part of our church were my clients. Some of them, I didn't know they were, and I witnessed to them, and now they're part of our service.
Yes.
So you build rapport, you build that relationship with people.
Yeah, and each one tell one, right? Because even at my former job, one of my coworkers, she was interested in buying, and I said, I know someone that can help you. And of course, I put the person on to Dr. Lee, who assisted the person.
And they're happy.
And they're very
Actually,
happy.
2 homes out of the
2
family.
homes, right?
Because of that referral. So that's what I'm saying. You build your clientele.
That's
It's
right.
not just one deal.
Yes.
You work for the client and then you'll get a paycheck.
And as long as the client has a good experience,
Yes.
you know more going to
Oh,
come.
yes, oh, yes.
Because they're going to tell each one is going to tell another one. And remember, we are people touching platform. Each one, reach one.
That is so true.
That's
That
right.
is so true.
That's right.
This is a wonderful topic, Ms. Thomas. I'm sure we're not going to be able to finish. There's so much we could get into.
Yes.
And but let's conclude it if we may. All right. So then my question to you, because I used to be a tenant. I'm a home. I own a home. You own a home. Is it better, Ms. Thomas, to own a home than to be a tenant, to rent a house?
Personally
From your
speaking,
perspective.
I think it is better to own. The comfort that you feel,
Yeah.
that joy that you experience, I'm telling you, it's like no other.
Yes.
Trust me, believe me. Look at me when I tell you, when you step in that house
Yes,
and
yes.
knowing that it's yours, nothing compares to the joy that you feel.
Wow.
So it's really, and I'm not saying that there are not challenges. There are challenges that come with owning a home, and we talked about it earlier, the disadvantages and
Yes.
all of that. But I'm telling you, at the end of the day, we're building equity.
Of course, that's what.
So we have something to look forward to at the end of it. It's not like we're paying rent and at the end of the day we have nothing to get back.
That is true.
So, and when you have your own home, you can decorate it how you want it.
Oh, yes.
You can paint it in any color you want. It doesn't matter because it's yours, right? When you're renting, you have to be very careful what you do, what you put in. Because I used to rent before, and I was limited as to what I could do.
That's right.
When I own my own space, wow! I'm telling you. It's just endless what you can do as long as you can afford it, and you can set out your goals, your long-term goals, your short-term goals.
Yes.
What am I gonna do this year? What am I gonna do next year? What am I gonna do 5 years down the line? So it's something that it really gives you that joy, that really happy feeling to know that you own that space. And also, when you come in a country, you leave your country and you come in a country, it is so important to, this is me talking, personally speaking, to own something there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You feel so good to know that, yes, I left my home and here I am in a strange country, in a foreign country, and I can buy land. Oh my God, that's a bonus. That's
It's
a
an
plus.
achievement. It
That's
really
a
is.
plus,
It really
yes.
is. And you know, that's my belief.
Yes.
And you have heard me say it many times, even my teaching, lecturing, you know, it's good for us to be landlords.
Yes.
Than tenants.
Yes.
But again, it's a mindset. We have to, you know, someone said, Mr. Thomas, the other day, that our people, we are consumers.
True, we are.
We are consumers, and the other nationalities out there, they are manufacturers, wholesalers. So I want our people to just, that has to change.
Yes.
You know, I know we're used to the, you know, we like to dress nicely, we like to, you know, the top of the line.
Yes.
But again, if you look at it, at the end of the day, what do we have? What do we pass on to our children?
What do we pass on? That's important.
It's a building wealth.
Yes.
Building assets. So our children,
Yes.
you know, that we can pass on. Just like what we said last week about insurance as well. You know, it's important that we have to have the long-term vision. It's not just about us, but what about the next generation, our children, grandchildren, etc., etc. And so that's one of the areas that I am very disappointed sometimes when I meet persons.
Yes.
You know, and to find out that they have lived here for 20, 30 years. And
They have no desire or will to buy.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
But a lot of times, I think this is important. It's discipline.
Yes, yes.
When persons are not disciplined, especially if you're not working towards a goal,
That's right.
then you have nothing to work towards.
That's it.
But if you have your goal, you're working towards a particular goal,
That's right.
then it's easy to make the sacrifice.
That's right.
So easy. Instead of buying 2 dresses, you buy one or you buy none because you're working towards a goal.
That's right.
So that's what we have to do in order. People are saying, oh, I don't have the down payment. But if you're disciplined and you set aside a sum every month when you get your pay, you would be surprised how much you save at the end of the year.
What I've done also, Thomas, on the side there, I've dealt with clients.
Clients.
I've dealt with clients. I'm just switching hats here for a moment. I've dealt with clients who want to buy a home, but they're struggling with down payments. So I was able to guide them through and get them set up.
Yes.
So there are ways. There are ways of doing it. You know.
Yes.
But again, the bottom line is why we're discussing this in this format is to encourage our people
Yes.
to consider, to think, and don't go by the myth. Well, the market is bad.
Yes.
Interest rate is high. And America, you know what's going on with tariff and all that. These things do pass. Famine comes to pass. It doesn't come to stay.
Exactly.
Real estate, it's like a roller coaster. It's a cycle. We go into different cycles. But at the end of the day, we're going to make money. It's a long-term investment.
It is.
It's, you know, and it takes much discipline. But and I'm a recipient of that. I smile today because of my investments. And thank God. But, you know, I went through the process too. You know, discipline yourself. But
Discipline.
it works. It really works. It
important,
works.
yes.
And so, I don't know, do you have anything more to say, Ms. Thomas?
Just to encourage our viewers, you know, as we talk about the different topics each week, we spoke recently about wills and insurance, just encouraging our people.
Yes.
You know, we're talking about investments, we're talking about
Yes.
equity, we're talking about generational wealth.
That's right.
And when we talk about these things, this is us encouraging you to step into that market.
Yes, yes.
To try to stay away from the narrative where we're looking at just the negatives.
Oh, yes.
Because there's a positive to this.
Yes.
And that's what we're highlighting during these different podcasts, doing these different forums.
Yes.
So we're encouraging you. And remember, we always say, if you have any questions at all,
That is right. That is
Dr. Lee has 30 years of experience in this field. If you have any questions, anything that you want to ask about real estate, he's here to answer any questions that you might have. And as always, we say if you have any questions, any ideas, any way that we can improve our podcast, we look forward to hearing your thoughts and your ideas. And of course, you can always find us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So remember, watch the video, like it, and most important, we ask you to share it. And as always, we thank you so much for joining us. And I'm turning it over back to Dr. Lee.
Well, Ms. Thomas, I'm about to give them my office number.
Yes.
I've never done it before, but with your permission, because I realize a lot of persons out there don't know how to get into real estate. They have so many questions. So why don't I give them my office
That's
number?
right. I think you should.
My office number, I'm with Century 21, Percy Fulton, for 30 years. I'm one of the top agents there. I've done it all, and I'm still involved in it. My office number is 416-298-8200. That's 416-298-8200. And ask them to speak to William Lee. And I'll be able to sit down with you and walk you through if you're buying or you're selling your home. I can do an evaluation of your home. I can walk you through. I can get everything set up for sale. If you're buying, it's no cost. I'll be willing to sit with you and to guide you through that, because I believe everybody needs to own a home.
Yes.
And there are ways to do it.
That's right.
Legally. And I'm the expert right there. So, Mr. Thomas, thank you for allowing me just to share this.
Of course.
It's important for us to know,
Yes.
the folks know. And also, Ms. Thomas is a very educated lady. You know, she is working for the government, as I've said it before in the past. She's a social worker. She has her undergrads and she has her MEA in counseling, etc., etc. That's why she's my co-host. And I'm proud to have her to you in this discussion. And so we're going to be talking about other subjects.
That's right.
Other subjects. We pray that you guys were happy today, that we shared some thoughts just to alert you, give you some insight of the possibilities that are ahead of you in owning your own property.
Yes.
Again, we want to thank we have a team, as you mentioned.
Yes.
Our coordinator is Ms. Stacey Ann Campbell, doing a fantastic job.
Yes.
Ms. Thomas. And of course, the engineer, Mr. Malcolm London, doing a fantastic job. And of course, my dear co-host, Donna, and I, we're doing our best to be there for you all. Please send in your comments, send in your, we want to hear from you. If there's, as Ms. Thomas said, if there's any topics that you'd like us to discuss, please let us know so we can do our research and we can discuss it with you all. Again, thank you very much. And we have a ministry that is standing behind us, supporting us. It's called Victory World Impact Ministries. Telephone number is 416-282-1101.
Yes.
This ministry is a multicultural church ministry, and they are giving us a lot of support behind the scenes to do what we're doing, to help our community to grow and to develop and to be all that God desires us to be. Thank you very much. Thank you again. Remember, we're coming to you from People, Touching People Forum. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. We look forward to seeing you next week. In Jesus' name.